Well, I'm young in my relationship with Nutrafarms. It's about a year old, but I have to tell you, I'm 61 years old, and it is one of the finest relationships I've ever had.
When we have a small amount of cattle ready each week, they're off to the butcher shop for Nutrafarms, where it's at the practice of most places is you have to have a pot load or 40 head ready, and they go, and we're just too small. We don't have that many ready every week. So with Nutrafarms, it's just to a small local butcher shop, and they're ready and shipped when they're ready, instead of being over-finished or under-finished.
Yeah, we've been really happy with it. It's allowed us to produce pork and to remain viable in a small, sustainable family way.
Imagine a time before corn and grain abundances, before growth-enhancing feeds, when things were simple and you knew where your food was coming from. Nutrafarms is growing relationships with farmers that have one simple goal in life: to raise animals the right way. Nutrafarms provides consumers with local and antibiotic-free beef, poultry, pork, and wild-caught fish that is both delicious and healthy. All of our animals are treated humanely and are from local family farms that respect their animals and the environment. Quality of life for our animals is of the utmost importance to us.
An operation that has cows and calves right through to finish, which is a rarity these days. Most it's large production. You're just a finisher, you're a backgrounder, or you're a cow-calf operation. We do all three, right from start to finish.
Birds grown inside, double the growing space, double the airflow, will emulate free range.
We're a small facility, so we have, we devote the time and the care. We're not an assembly line. Each breast is looked at, inspected, trimmed, and then put into a box for final production. So I don't know, there could be somebody doing that. I don't know anybody that goes to that much effort.
The cows are out here on this pasture ground with their calves from about the 1st of April right through until their little snow flies in December. And their only diet will be just the grass here that grows in these hills, which is no pesticides or anything like that, just the natural grass that grows on these hills.
Once they get older, then they're all right. When they're small, then we have to castrate and, just kind of keep an eye on them and make sure that the sow's okay.
Your average processing plant has birds sit in water for 6 to 8 hours. Can you imagine? Take any cut of meat you want, whether it's beef, pork, chicken, and process it so it sits in water for 6 to 8 hours. It'll take back anywhere from 16 to 20% of its weight in water. Whatever nutrients and flavors in there gets washed out, so it's like putting a piece of meat in a washing machine. The difference between that and air chilled, and our processing plant does air chilled, is that the product is processed, it may sit in water for a half hour. It's brought out, it's racked, and its body temperature is brought down to 40 degrees by air, by cold air.
The animal's main diet is grass and hay. Then we grow some wheat, some barley, and corn, which is all for animal feed.
There are no steroids, no hormones, no chemicals whatsoever. The hatcheries are local, that the farms are local, that the processing plant is local, that the cutting house, and let's be more definitive, let's say within a 100-kilometer radius, right here in the Niagara Peninsula.
Well, local and natural to me would be the fact that it's almost like a closed operation here. We have all our own cattle and we have all our own feed. We don't purchase almost no feed. We grow all our own crops and feed them to the cattle.
We love the niche market that we provide to people that want quality and flavor, but they're guaranteed to get a drug-free product. And in the end, you can say anything about the product. If you taste it, you'll never go back to regular chicken. To summarize it, that's why our product is not better, is probably the best product on the marketplace.
We have people that want to buy from people like Nutrafarms, then I think there is a future.
Yeah.
For this method of farming, other than that, then no. I think it'll probably come to the point where all of our food's imported.
Hi, I'm Chef D. I'm host of At Home with Chef D. I'm also on CTV News at noon. So whenever you're cooking chicken breast, you always want to cook it with a shiny side down, which I'm saying the top of the breast. Get it on a nice warm barbecue, and on it goes. And this beef is really easy to digest. It's a lot healthier, heart healthier for us. It's leaner to begin with, absolutely. And the flavor, I just love the flavor of it because it has that great bite.
Now the thing I like about Nutrafarm chicken, at least this is our experience in dealing with the chicken over the number of years we've been eating it, is that it's a lot thicker. It actually seems to be meatier.
I love the fact that this is all locally grown foods. That's so important, that you know exactly where your all the foods that you're eating come from.
I've always been local and natural before local and natural became popular. Always looked for the finest, closest ingredients that I can get that taste amazing. Again, we're going to only turn it 4 times, 2 quarter turns, and then flip it over.
So many great combinations of everything that you need for a well-balanced meal is right here.
Yeah, and I know the kids would love this because they're just beef lovers. So
I know they are.
I'm you right into this.
Definitely,
Yeah.
and it's so versatile. You can use it in any recipe, and the kids love it. That's what we really enjoy.
Why people should buy Nutrafarms is really quite simple. Whenever you're a chef, you're looking for the finest ingredients that you can serve your customers. Finally, I found a beef that is grass-raised, a chicken that is free-range, and a pork that isn't fed scraps. And each one of these taste amazing. It's so good to know that there's companies out there that really care about what you're putting inside that you can give to your families.
And one thing I like about this meat too is that we know that it is safe. It is that they go through stringent guidelines on how they actually get the meat to their to cutting and getting it to us, so we know what we're getting. We're not getting any kind of antibiotics in the meat. We're not getting any kind of I guess hormones that you would normally tend to get with a lot of meats you get in the store, and that's a big thing. I mean, for me personally, I do not like to have all that stuff in my meat. So.
No, and you can definitely taste the difference with the quality of the meat, that the animals are being fed properly. Up with quite a few new recipes that I'm definitely going to try at home.
From chef?
From a chef, yes, just by being here and watching. It's delicious, thank you.
My family established the farm in 1958. My dad was Hungarian, my mother was Romanian. They came to Canada with $1 in their back pocket, and they established this place. And they left it to their children, and now their grandchildren are involved. So we're 3rd generation now, I being the 2nd generation, and I came back to the operation in 1977.
An uncle and a nephew came over from Ireland in 1841 and settled here on the 5th line of Malmer, and we're still here doing it, and I'm 8th generation.
Grandma was born in Alberta, Grandpa was born in Europe. Oh, wow. When Grandpa came, then he went to Alberta, obviously, and found Grandma, and then it's kind of weird because they ended up out west with a lot of people that were from the same village as Grandpa, and then they all a lot of them ended up here, in the same area around here. So.
I'm very proud of my staff. We're like a family here, and everybody is invested. They treat the product as if it was their own, and they work that way, and so the level of respect I have for my staff is huge.
We're different. We grow a big garden, and we can and freeze vegetables, and we get some fruit locally, but we kind of know where it comes from and how, what we're getting, and that goes a long way to having a healthy family. I want to be able to go to the barn and take any animal I raise and be comfortable eating it myself.
It's kind of hard for me to say because I almost don't eat any other thing other than our own beef. So, but we have a very flavorful, tasty, juicy piece of steak, and our family eats tons of it. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of farming pigs?
Oh, probably the little ones. I like seeing them play in the straw. they get social and they poke each other. And it's like a bunch of kids playing, I guess.
Picture something that's extremely bland, okay? So you go eat something. It's like when I go to my mother-in-law's for dinner, okay? She doesn't take the roast beef out of the oven till the smoke alarm goes off. So it's overcooked. She doesn't spice. It's like, you know, you're eating something, but there's no flavor to it. The only thing I can tell you about our product is, if you've got a boneless breast, for instance, and you put your hand on it and you squeeze it, there's no water that comes out of it because it's air chilled. And if you cook it, and you cook it properly, because we all have a tendency to overcook poultry and pork, but if you cook it properly, use a meat thermometer, pull that piece of chicken out at 180 internal temperature, a little bit of spice, salt, pepper, maybe some paprika, maybe some garlic, whatever you like. You know what? You don't have to put sauce on this because the flavor is incredible. The first thing that's going to jump out at you, wow. And, you know, we always say it's chicken that tastes like chicken used to taste like your grandparents used to eat and go, wow, that's chicken.
Nutrafarms is Ontario's leader in providing custom-tailored natural, local, and antibiotic-free beef, poultry, pork, and wild fish delivered direct to your home. Isn't it time that your family tries some to see the difference for yourself? For your free sample of beef delivered directly to your home at no cost or obligation, please contact us today. It's time your family eats local, eats natural, eats affordably with Nutrafarms.